Welcome, blessed souls, to this magnificent pickle reading. It's one of those that Spirit just told me to open to a page and start. But because this is the third quarter moon today, I have a feeling it's going to center somewhere around whatever this reading is going to be. Obviously, by now I've edited it, put a title on and all that, but right now it's brand new to me too. I have no idea what your cards are. I have no idea what's going to happen. The only thing I know for sure right now is the title of each reading, which I will tell you after this. But right now, we are going to focus on the energy of transition and forgiveness, which is the 7th moon phase. That's what the third quarter moon is. We're not quite to the new moon, right? We have one more phase. We have the crescent moon up there saying hello to us right now. So they asked me to open to this page, and I'm literally picking up from a sentence. So here we go. It says, to let go of so much cherished habits and have the courage to invest yourself wholeheartedly in a subject. If you take to heart and act on what the, in quotes, Ace of Cups might imply, you could take a shower or drink something bubbly. The non-literal approach might prod you to openly admit your feelings either to yourself or somebody else, to make peace, to say goodbye, or, in any case, to put a certain experience behind you in order to free yourself. Of course, there are many other possibilities when it comes to reaching conclusions and making decisions. If at some time you simply cannot understand what the practical consequences of a certain layout are supposed to be, you should accept that this is a temporary situation. It is telling you to, quote unquote, tread water, quote unquote, hang out, or, quote unquote, smile. Oh, it says swim, but I said smile. Oh, swim for a while, but in quotes, right? However, there is no law that says you cannot reach for another card. Even the task is drawing a practical conclusion. So I was like reading 25. They're like, no, page 25. I'm like, okay, so this is literally like the last page of a paragraph in the Complete Book of Tarot Spreads book, and I'm not using tarot cards. So I feel like when they spoke of, where it sounds like they're talking about a tarot like layout or whatever, I feel like that's like in general. So, I mean, you can apply it if you want to, but I feel like it's interesting that they have 3 things in quotes, because we have 3 readings and 3 titles, because the first one in quotes is tread water. The second one is hang out, and the third one is swim. So when you're treading water, right, like you're just trying to stay afloat. When I looked up, it was 312, and then it went to 313. So if that means anything to anybody, hang out kind of feels like, if we're going to tarot, it kind of feels like the hangman card, like they're just hanging, like maybe you're just meant to like be somewhere for a minute. And then the swim for a while was that just go with the flow of things, just keep going, keep going, keep going. So I don't know if they'll be in the order of that, but I can tell you that these are the titles of the readings. Reading 1 is from E.T. Do 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 boo boo do do boo do, right? And it's called the Flying Theme. So that's kind of interesting, the tread water. I'm saying if that applies. The second one is, the second reading is Don't Do Me Like That from Tom Petty. Don't do me like that. Don't do me like that, which is interesting because the hangout card is the hangman kind of energy. So that's interesting. And then the third one is from Rachael Yamagata, You Won't Let Me. Because you won't let me. And she's basically saying like, I want to love you, but you won't let me. So I don't know, that's the swim card. So go with the flow. So let's just dig in and see what they say. I'm sure I'll keep referencing this because it's so bizarre, but also very cool. So I will see you over at your reading 1, reading 2, or reading 3. Blessed be. I love you. I'll see you at your reading. Welcome, reading one. Let's get into this. I'm excited. So you chose E.T., the flying theme. I have to say that even though I'm going right into yours, I'm hearing the song from reading three. So if you were drawn to reading three, if it's not your story, don't make it your story. When I looked down, all I saw was 13. So I'm feeling divine feminine energy. I'm feeling goddess energy. I'm feeling witch energy. So some of you might want to go to three, but again, seriously, don't make it your story if it's not your story. This deck is really awesome because it works with the ego. And today we are in the third quarter moon energy, like we said at the beginning, and it's about transition and forgiveness. And this is the first card I got. And look, it's upside down. Number 22, love your body. Love your body. But it was in reverse. Ugh, what a pretty picture. My goodness, you guys, I feel like Peter Brady. When it's time to change, then it's time to change. I think for some of you guys, I'm feeling a makeover coming through. The divine feminine, that's why I was seeing the number 13. It's the number of the divine feminine. I'm getting a really strong vibe that in this transition and forgiveness energy, it's time to really love your body. It's time to love your body, like really love it from the inside out and the outside in. Look after it, talk to it, pray it. I mean, honestly, the last few days I've been looking at myself in the mirror because I've been going through such huge transformations, and I've been putting together this kind of makeover look, and until I get to that point, it's like if I catch myself in the mirror, I'm like, you're beautiful. I'm like, I love you. And I notice that the more I do that, that it literally elevates my vibration. And when I elevate that vibration, it puts it back out into the world. And I'm hearing for some of you, get away from the TV, get away from politics, get away from that stuff. Right now, it does not make you selfish to work on yourself. If you found yourself here, you are a light worker of some kind. So you're not meant to get tangled up in the old third dimensional energy. Your job is to find the best version of yourself inwardly and outwardly and put it out to the world. That's why the ET song, I mean, I don't know about you, but every time I hear that music, it's like, especially because it starts out and it's like kind of soft, and then all of a sudden it's like, and then when the crescendo comes, like when ET's getting away and it's really exciting, and it's like right, it's like that's where I feel like spirit is trying to say to you, like, even if you make that your theme right now while you're loving on yourself, while you're on your self-care, self-love journey, I'm hearing to really, work with that music. I specifically asked Spirit, we haven't done it in a minute, but I was like, I really do feel like I want to put music with this one. So it'll be on you to seek it out. I will put the name of it and the title. I was going to put the link and they said no, because whatever version you're meant to see, each one of you is the version you're meant to see, right? Like YouTube, you could put it into YouTube, but your energy will like bring to you the one that you need to see. You know what I mean? Like whether it's a snippet for the movie or it's a video or it's just like an orchestra, and you just get lost in the music. But I do feel like right now until the end of the year, whenever you watch this, it's timeless, of course, but if you're watching it in real time, literally like use this until the end of the year and even maybe the next year while you're learning to really love yourself and love your body. That's the energy that I got from Spirit from that. And what was the other part? Oh, the treading water. I feel like for some of you that's what it's been like for you. You've just been treading water instead of like, it's almost like, I don't know if you feel this way or somebody told you that, like, or I don't know how this happened, but I just kind of feel like in a different version of you, you really love to give and give and give and give and give, but you're starting to find more and more and more and more. Look at, they had the shadow come in, that the more you give and the more you don't give to yourself, the shadow comes for you. And it's harder to stay in that high vibration. It's harder to stay in that light. And for some of you, you're just surrounded by some like really heavy, dark shit. And it's not your shit. And it feels like yours. For some of it, I'm feeling a father energy. So it could be oh my, by the way, I'm shuffling as you can hear. So that like just changed on its own. Woo, yeah, that's because spirit, you know, because we're so powerful, wherever two or more gather, these portals keep opening. And it's like, if you're open to it and you're asking for the upgrades and the downloads, I know I have, oh, and I looked up, it was 1011. So maybe you've been seeing 111, or maybe you've been seeing 1011. Or 1110 or 1101 in that order, but maybe not 1111. I'm hearing for some of you, it's because you're so close right now. You're so close. These two cards are sticking together, and I kind of feel like this is the energy that you're getting. And look at that, how one's upside down and one's right side up. Interesting. These are the energies that are holding you back. Look at that. Give more. You're giving too much. That's why it was in reverse. You're giving too much. Thank God. I'm hearing you don't need to see the mirror, but there's a reason why they want your back to look that way. Okay. No, they want me to move this one right now. Okay. Wow. This is the transition and forgiveness. Look at the way that that's how they have me put the cards, but look at how they're like praying towards the moon. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Drink some water. We are made up of 70% water. Stay hydrated through this transition, and it's just going to get more rapid and move faster. So it's important for us to hydrate. It's important, like certain foods and certain things, like I can just feel it. My body's just like, nope, 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 nope. And I just feel like shit. Like nothing bad's happening to me. I just feel like shit. And I'm realizing that my body just doesn't require certain things that it needed before. There's just so many things that are happening right now that have changed all around us and within us. And if you just found yourself here, you may be confused as fuck and you're not sure if you're up or down or right or left, or, you know, or you may have been awakened for a long time and you're like, dude, I don't know what's going on. It's like, yeah, it's okay. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. Also, I saw 1216 and I literally saw a birthday. Happy birthday, Danielle. I know someone with that birthday. Drink some water. Also, I'm hearing there's something with ET for some of you, like the inner child. Maybe it was your favorite movie. I'm also seeing, I don't know who this is, but I'm seeing somebody like maybe you're the babysitter, but I feel like there's a kid that used to always wanted to watch ET, and you used to get sick of it. And now, like, I feel like you're meant to go watch it now. Or maybe you haven't seen it in years. They want you to watch it now from like a different perspective. And I can tell you at 53 years old that there are certain movies that come into my orbit that I'm like, oh, I've seen that so many times. I was younger, and they're like, no, just watch it. And I'll watch it, and I saw 13 again, by the way. And it literally like just, it's like I'm seeing it for the first time because I'm different. I'm older. I have a different perspective on things, and it's fascinating. So your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to watch ET, because you're the only one that got a movie. Although I do think reading 3 is in a movie. I forget which movie it is. I want to say it's that one where Meryl Streep's son is dating, was it Cameron Diaz? And she's like a therapist. I want to say it was in that movie. But anyway, I digress. Research it if you want to. I'm putting it out there, 1347. Also that felt like numbers too. Like for some of you, like I saw 13 and like maybe you're 47. Also 13 is when we really come into our witch and we come into our gifts. And each age we're given different gifts, or when different ancestors pass away, their gifts are like transferred onto us. So the transition and forgiveness, I feel like for some of you, maybe you had a death, maybe you had somebody who you lost, because I don't like just looking at your back. I keep wanting to move the squirrels out of the way, but I feel like maybe this is some of you, like you have your back on spirit and you're going through something rough, or maybe you're like, you know, how come I give so much, and they're like, and you're like, and I'm not getting anything in return. They're like, well, maybe you're not looking at the gratitude, or maybe you're saying thank you, or you're feeling like you're being grateful, but you're not actually looking at it from the point of view that spirit wants you to look at it. And excuse me, I know sometimes that's tough. Sometimes that's tough. Because when we're not getting what we want and we feel like we keep giving, it's like that's what they're trying to show us though. They're like, but where are you giving? You know, if you're giving out a lot and you're not getting much back and you're tired and you know what I mean? Almost, I would say every day, I'm almost positive. It's been a while since it started, but every day now, at some point in the day, I will say something to the effect of, I love my life, or something really cool happened with Spirit. I'm like, oh, Spirit, you're so awesome. I'm like, I love my life. And I noticed that the more, something that I used to get angry about, I'm not getting angry anymore because I know that it's because it's not the right thing for me. And you may be in the place where it's not going where you want it to go. It's not going fast enough, right? Because you're in the tread water energy. But you're going to be in the flying theme of ET. Like you're going to be like, you're going to have that moment where you're going to be flying on the bike. But, you know, one of my favorite analogies, if you haven't seen it, watch it. And please watch the original Miracle on 34th Street. Because Natalie Wood as a little girl in that movie is so good. At the end, she's so good. You know, but the part where she's like, everybody got what they wanted, but she didn't get what she wanted. And they're like, have faith, have faith. You don't know yet. You don't know. Maybe it's, you know, waiting out there. Long story short, you know, she's just like, I believe. But she really did believe, but she was just sad for a second, but she was still putting out the words, I believe. And I know they say like, right. And we always say, put your energy into it. Yes, put your energy into it. But also sometimes it's enough that like Spirit knows that you were believing, because she had all this faith. And then right up before like the victory was going to happen, she started to lose faith. And just when she was about to lose faith, Spirit gave her a wink. When I saw the number 17, that's a big number for our tribe, which is also number 8, and 8's the number of infinity. So, you know, maybe you're barking up the wrong tree. That's why the squirrels are there too. And squirrels are all about storing away for the winter. Maybe you're maybe you're hoarding the wrong things, or maybe you're storing the wrong things in the wrong place, you know, because I like the way that they're kneeling and praying and thanking God and like thanking the moon, because the moon is such a huge part of us. And, you know, the moon is the light in the shadow. And maybe for some of you, you've been in the shadow for long enough, and Spirit's like, look to the light, look to the moon. Because even when the moon is dark and it's the new moon, there's still a little bit of sliver there. You can still kind of see her. Also, they wanted me to point out that the thank God is, what number is that? 55. So 5s are about change and transformation, but also 5 and 5 equals 10. Like, you know, like you're halfway there. The give more. Oh my gosh, give more is 23. That's why they wanted me to do that. And that's a 5. And then we have 22. But interesting that we have love your body and give more, 22 and 23. This deck is so old. I've shuffled this a gazillion times. Sometimes they have me kind of shuffle them up and then like put them back in order. So I just want to see if they want me to do that. Okay. So this is how they want you to love your body. Thank God that you have a body, right? Also, that ship is there, and that ship's kind of treading water, right? Like it's like there's no way that ship could get any closer, right? It would like go onto the sand. So I feel like that means something too. So thank God for your beautiful body and give more to yourself. Thank God for yourself. It's okay to love yourself. It's okay to give to yourself. Do you see that? And when you're in shadow, the best way to get to the light is taking care of you. I think that's it, reading 1. Okay, do we have any more messages for reading 1? Nope, that's it. All right, you guys, we love you so much. All of my information's in the description box. We'll see you at the next reading. Blessed be. Oh, bye. Welcome, reading 2. I'm burning some rosemary for you. I am feeling so much witchiness. Oh my goodness. Reading 2. You're going through a massive awakening. I can really feel it. You are not alone, my friend. You are not alone. So if you didn't watch the intro, I'm going to go over again a little bit that came through. So your theme is don't do me like that. And what we're talking about is the Ace of Cups. Now, they didn't have me talk about this in reading one really, but I feel like for your reading too. The Ace of Cups. So cups are about emotions and aces are about new beginnings. And the cup runneth over, right? So it says, if you take to heart and act on what the Ace of Cups might imply, you could take a shower or drink something bubbly. The non-literal approach might prod you to openly admit your feelings either to yourself or somebody else, to make peace, to say goodbye, or in any case, to put a certain experience behind you in order to free yourself. This is about transition and forgiveness, this reading. The moon called me back in. This third quarter moon is really powerful. Whenever you watch this, it's timeless, of course. But in real time, today is September 14th, and it's a number 14 is the number 5. And if you add all of the numbers together for today's date with the year, it'll come out to the number 5. And 5s are about change and transformation. So if you were drawn to reading 1, you may want to go back and check it out. If not, don't make it your story. But there was a lot of 5s in change and transformation in that. So when it says, don't do me like that, I think it's interesting that it talks about the Ace of Cups. So we're talking about somebody in your life that needs to go bye-bye, or you have to make peace with, or in any case, put a certain experience behind you in order to free yourself. That's intense. Also, there were 3 energies that were around this page and that they spoke of. And the second one, which I felt like after I read it, since we had 3 titles for the readings, and then there were 3, I think maybe I'll take a screenshot of it and I'll put it in the community section so you can kind of see where this derived from. But the second in quotes was hang out. So I was talking about how that reminded me of the hangman in the tarot, that, sometimes you just need to wait it out. So let's see what your cards have to say. Also, they want me to read this part. Of course, there are many other possibilities when it comes to reaching conclusions and making decisions. If at some time you simply cannot understand what the practical consequences of a certain layout are supposed to be, you should accept this as a temporary situation. It is telling you to, and then it was like reading 1 was tread water, 2, hang out, or 3, swim for a while. However, there is no law that says you cannot reach for another card. Even the task is drawing a practical conclusion. So maybe for some of you guys, that's why you're here. You're drawn to this reading for some reason. Maybe it's a picture, maybe, you know what I mean? It's like everybody has their own, whatever, you know what I mean? So I feel like you are here for a reason. So there's something that you need to transition out of and forgive. And also, this is the first Sunday in 18 weeks that we haven't done a live Sacred Sunday. And I kept feeling I was going to do spirit work today, but I had no idea how it was going to go down or anything. And then out of nowhere, I mean, it's kind of late here. I don't know how late, but it's kind of late. And just almost out of nowhere, 2422, I feel like that's an angel number for one of you. But I just was like, I have to do a reading right now. I haven't felt that compelled to do a reading in a really long time. So I definitely feel like these are for somebody. So the first card is number 42. Have fun. Some of you are not having enough fun in your life. And I'm hearing to push that down because there's more to come. All right. Let's see, what's the next one? I feel like yours is like a story. And I just want to pause for a second and say, I don't know what each of you are going through, but I just want you to know that I love you and Spirit loves you and they see your pain. We feel your pain and suffering. You are not alone. Call on your angels, call on your guides, ask the Creator to take away any pain and suffering that no longer belongs to you. You may need a cord cutting. Some of you may need to do some type of a cord cutting. There are all over YouTube. There's tons of things about cord cutting, but you know, feel your vibe. You can kind of tell the people who know what they're doing and other people who don't. But the truth is, you don't really need to. You might want to just kind of see how it goes. But the truth is, just for me, one of the favorite ways I like to do it is I just lay down in meditation. And when I'm feeling the most grounded and the most connected to Spirit, I pretend like my fingers are kind of like a scissors, and I go across my belly button and I just cut the cords, and I think of it like an umbilical cord, and I thank it, right? This is about transition and forgiveness, but also gratitude. Reading one had a lot of gratitude in it as well, or about gratitude. So, you know, it could be that for some of you, you're just so connected. I'm also getting this vibe, because you're empaths and you're sensitive. I'm getting this vibe that you don't allow yourself, like you feel guilty if you go out and have a nice dinner and go see a movie when you just heard about another bombing or a genocide or whatever. You're like, I feel like a fucking asshole. And I know that that's hard to do, but you can do more for them. Oops. Holy shit. Spirit just said the world's not going to end. Wow, look at that. It's still going, you guys. Like, I mean, and for all intents and purposes, I'm like shocked that that didn't like turn off, or like when I tried to catch it, it didn't. Okay. I'm sorry if that hurt your ears, but Spirit wants you, their spirits. Oh, look at the way the light's going on the fucking candle. Okay, so Spirit's coming in right now to give you some hard news. The planet is going through the Tower card. If you're not familiar with the Tower card in tarot, go research it. Either pause it, go research it now and come back, or research it after. But a Tower moment happens when people know that things have to change, or they're seeing signs that things have to change and they don't change. Spirit will come in and change it for you. I was watching something recently, and it was kind of funny, because there were these angels, and these angels were like, well, you kind of have free will, but not really. We tried to give you guys free will, but like, you know, and I mean, I got the shivers all over my body, and I just got them again. And I realized that I believe that's really true. In fact, I feel that with myself. Because for a long time I didn't understand. I'm like, how come for years I could just like get any job I wanted, get any apartment I wanted, get any guy I wanted, get any car I wanted. No, seriously, like really. And then when I started to get real, drink some water, stay hydrated. It's super important right now. When I started to get real with Spirit and like see what I had to do to like be what I came here to do, it was really difficult. And when I didn't want to change, oh, Spirit changed it for me. Tell me you haven't had your Tower moment. So the whole planet's going through a Tower moment. And yes, it's horrible that people are suffering, children are dying, and yes, all of that is horrible. But at the same time, in many lifetimes, you've gone through that. And maybe they were the ones sitting up high in a tower as a princess, or, you know, even just living a nice life on a farm and happy with, 10 kids and a husband, and, living to be a grandmother, and just, never having to worry, because at that time on earth, there really wasn't a lot of, maybe that was a Renaissance period. That was, quote unquote Renaissance, right? Where it was like, you know what I mean? So don't compare your story to their story. They're going through what they're going through. You're going through what you're going through, and you're not meant to. Wow, no matter where I put it, I wanted to see. Yeah, this is the Creator. You guys, the Creator is with us right now. I don't know, whatever you believe in, you know, I just want to say that this is a divine energy. And I feel such a lightness around them. When I looked down, I saw 302, like 30 and then 02, which is also number 5. So, you know, we're in the thick of it. We're halfway there, but we're not halfway there, meaning like in the next few years, a lot of shit is going to happen to the point where certain people are going to keep doing certain things and they're just building their karma. They're just playing their role. You know, they're just doing what they came here to do. You know, they came here to play a villain. They came here to play, and even the villains, we learn lessons. You know what I mean? Like, you may not like somebody, or you may not like the way they say something or do something. I felt like that needed to go into shadow for a minute. Oh, look at that. And the creator's like, nope, I'm going to put the light back up. I kind of wanted to see what it would look like. But this is about you taking your focus. I feel like for some of you, it's really hard for you to take care of yourself. Like, it's really hard for you to, like, you're getting genuine joy out of helping people. 3111. Like, I can feel that you're genuinely getting joy from people. Like, I can feel that. But at the same time, you're like ripped all the time, like ripped tired, meaning like, you know, and maybe you'll sleep really hard, or you only get 4 or 5 hours of sleep, but you like, you know, you get up and you just start again and you have your coffee, or you do your, you know, and some of you are very, I'm hearing the word militant, like you're really very militant about it. But it's, oh, I just got the chills, but Spirit's saying, your body is saying, don't do me like that. I was wondering where that would come in, because I felt like this was about you releasing a certain person, but it could be also, for some of you, it's habit, it's energy, it's like old programming, and you're really straddling the 3D. You're like mostly in the 5th dimensional consciousness, but like maybe your job, or like there's something in your life. It's a person, place, or thing, or all of the above. Maybe it's everything, but there's just people around you that, you know, they're just sucking the light out of you, is what I'm hearing. Like, they're vampires. They don't mean to be. They don't mean to be. You know, in fact, they're just so used to it. Look at that. Give yourself the best. I got to put my glasses on. It's kind of dark over here. Is that 58? Oh, which is also number 13, the Divine Feminine. The Divine Feminine. That's been coming through a lot. Came through reading 1, 2. Look at that too, that yummy cake. Yeah, see, like this is what they're trying to show you. This is, for some of you, you've had this, but maybe you haven't had it for a really long time, this opulence. It's like you don't even know how to anymore. Like you don't know how to. Now the darks come in. Yeah, because it's almost like I have days like this where I'll look around my situation and I'm like, well, I'm fine. I mean, it's not my dream life. It's not, you know, of course, I don't like living in a half remodeled home. But at the same time, you know, when I was younger, like I said, when I wanted something, oh my gosh, you guys, there's this fly that's been in my house off and on for a few days, and it just showed up right now. So work with fly spirit medicine. It's been coming up a lot. Also, my little froggy is here, and I feel like maybe some of you are meant to work Toad. He's Toad the wet sprocket. Work with toad and or frog spirit medicine, whichever one you're called to, but also work with fly spirit medicine, because it could be like, you know, flies have so many different meanings, but right now the one that's coming through is rancid. And so it could be for some of you, like you're literally in a rancid energy. And, you know, sometimes people surround themselves with so much darkness that they don't even realize it. Hold on. Okay, I was getting a rush of things at once, and I just was like, okay, I just need to like find out like who these messages are for, because sometimes things come through and I see visions in my own house, and so I just want to, sometimes it's about my story, and sometimes it's like something, it's a comparison for you, and it's not about me, and so I always try to make sure and not make it, you know, my story. The fly took off again, so yeah, definitely work with that. I've been hearing the word insidious a lot lately. because we're in this kind of like double dark energy and all these retrogrades. And I mean, this is just like, we just haven't had anything like this for, if we've ever had anything like this, it's been like thousands of years, because obviously the earth has shifted and we've been in all different forms of consciousness. And you know, like how some of these archaeologists are like, there's absolutely positively no way that this was like made with anything but lasers. And the way that we were taught was like that, you know, cave people, you know, there was no such thing. Like we started with Adam and Eve and the caveman and all these things that don't make sense. I mean, I literally, one of the main reasons why I got kicked out of Sunday school was I called bullshit on the Adam and Eve thing all the time. I was like, so obviously Eve had to have sex with her sons. I'm like, if she only had two sons and a husband, I'm like, how did they have any more kids? If they were the first two people, it was like I was just too smart for my own fucking good. And I feel like maybe for some of you guys, it's like that for you too. But I'm getting this vibe that you're like you play stupid, or you like just go, like if people are saying things that you don't like or whatever, you just, but that's kind of a insidious energy too. It's a very dark shadow energy. You're meant to give yourself the best. You're meant to have fun. You're meant to enjoy life here. So who's ever telling you that you shouldn't, whether it's a old programming, a voice, or maybe it's somebody in your life now, your mission, should you choose to accept it, your new phrase is, don't do me like that. Don't do me like that. That's what you tell people. You say, don't do me like that. Whoever it is, it's time to stand up for yourself. Also, I almost bit my lip. And I feel like maybe that's somebody that you're I didn't though. So I feel like maybe that's somebody, maybe you're biting your lip, but you're biting your lip because like you don't want to make waves. You know what I'm saying? Like you just hold your tongue, like, and spirit's like, no. Maybe some of you are literally biting your lip because when you're talking, bullshit and malarkey's coming out of your mouth. So like your own higher self is like hurting you to be like, stop saying that shit. These two, they want me to show at the same time, and they don't always have me do that. So I take that very seriously. Share your gifts and seek an expert. Wow. So they're having me put have fun, share your gifts over have fun, and then seek an expert over give yourself the best. Ooh, that's cool. I'm going to go in a little bit. And you know, this was the hang on. So I feel like for some of you, the reason why, you know, you're really struggling in this transition and forgiveness, maybe it's for yourself. It's time for you to share your gifts. And if you don't know how to use your gifts, or, you know, like sometimes I'll meet somebody, I'll be in a store and somehow it'll come up and I'll be like, I'm a medium. And they'll say, you know, sometimes when I do this, or sometimes when this happens, or blah, 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 blah. And I'll be like, yeah, it's because you're, you know, this or that. And a lot of times that's how people kind of come into my orbit or come into my life, because they're ready, but they don't know what to do. And that's why I'm like, you know, here I have this channel, you know, blah, blah, blah. Or if you want to work with me, here's my info. And also sometimes, like I know so many other people like me. Sometimes I'll say to spirit, am I the right person for them? If I'm not, like I've actually said, you know, here's this person, they're a better fit for you for what you're looking for, or what you're like, you know, where you're at with your exploration of your gifts. So it could be for some of you guys, don't do me like that is like your higher self is saying, it's like you don't want to show people who you are or tell people who you are. It's like you're ashamed of who you are, but you're not, you know, but you're acting like you are because you're not telling people who you are. I mean, I have to tell you, the last 2 times I spent with my family, it was like I wasn't going to give him a third chance. I mean, I'd given him years and years and years of chances, but like the first chance, I was like, okay, I get it. You know, we haven't seen each other in a while. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. Let's just, you know, whatever. It was kind of like a truce. But by the second time, I knew more of who I was. I had worked on myself. And I just told my family, I was like, this is who I am. I mean, I told them both times, but then by the second time, the first time I was, you know, this is what's happening to me. This isn't a phase, you know. And then by the second time, it was a year, like 12 or 13 months later. And I was just like, hey, this is me. I'm not going to change. This is the real deal. And if this, whatever. And the more they made fun of me, or the more I was just like, okay. And it was hard because they'd known me for so long. So this might be for, somebody who is like, oh, my family doesn't believe me or whatever. Who cares? I mean, my mom was like a freaking soldier for the Christian coalition, So I understand what it's like to not be loved. And I mean, I literally had to close the door. I'm not saying everybody has to do this, but I personally had to close the door on all of my friends and family from my past life because they just didn't understand. And I didn't know how to have relationships with some of them, even the ones that loved me and were compassionate about it. It's like they still wanted to like pull me back to like the third dimensional world and talk about things or people or, certain memories, especially like, my friends that I partied with. And, speaking of, this, it's like, I mean, I'm on cannabis now. Cannabis is definitely one of my medicines. Some people, maybe you're into shrooms. Maybe that's why they're there. Maybe the expert is for you to work with, some form of psychedelics or ayahuasca to help figure out like your gifts, to help you go on a spiritual soul journey outside of your avatar. Maybe you're already doing that in dreams and astral traveling. But it's never easy to say goodbye to people, but sometimes it's just an absolute must, and it sucks. It fucking sucks. Trust me, I know. And the hangman energy is tough because maybe for some of you, that hangman energy is the straddling between worlds, and you really just want to step fully into fifth dimensional energy. I mean, obviously, we still have to go into the third dimensional energy to go to certain stores or to, drive our vehicles or get gas or like things like that until things come to a different place. Like, we understand that, but it's one thing to have it be partially in your world. You know what I mean? Like maybe once or twice a week or something, as opposed to every single day, all the time. And then, actually you're only really living in like 30% of the fifth dimensional energy, right? Because like maybe at home you're not fully yourself, and maybe at work you're not fully yourself, but when you're sleeping or when you're meditating or when you're driving in your car, but it's like, and again, I don't expect everyone to have my life, but like from the time I wake up until the time I go to bed, like this is my life. I have other things, of course, and I sing and I dance and I, do so many things. I love to cook and bake and so many things, hike and, but at the same time, at the end of the day and at the beginning of the day, I'm always this spiritual, I'm a hand of God. God is creator. Okay, so the fly literally just crawled across your reading too, and they just went back on the card. So let's see if they want one more card before we head out. I mean, seeking the expert can be different for all of you. Meditate on it, talk to spirit. This is a time to really get quiet with ourselves and meditate with spirit. Spirit, do we have any more cards for reading two to give them any more insight for this transition and forgiveness energy? Okay. Two just fell on the floor. Ooh, interesting. One's upside down, one's right side up. So we have rebel, or it could be, rebel, which is number 30. And then invest in your spirit. What's that one? Is that 45? So, and interesting because it's like 30 and then 45, like 3, but it's like 0, like 3, 4, 5. And maybe like, share your gifts. I feel like you're the rebel in your family. Like, I feel like they want this to like, right? Like you're not going to go behind here and you're not going to hide behind this tree anymore, right? Like you're like rebel, rebel. Nope. You're this, man. You're hilarious. You're awesome. You're funny. Don't hide who you are. Invest in your spirit. Seek an expert. Invest in your spirit. Especially, I mean, and I say this with so much love, But I cannot tell you how many times I have done readings for people, and I work on a sliding scale that starts at $85. And I do so many things, from videos or one-on-one, in person, over the phone, Zoom, whatever. But people will say to me that they don't have money for this or they don't have money for that. And then they'll tell me these other things. And then I'll say to them, so you don't have money to, it's just mind blowing. And it's interesting too, because I'm like, so how much, and that's why readings are hard for money, because it's like, how much is it worth to you? I have some people who give me the minimum. That's all they can give me. I have people who give me the minimum, or, sometimes even less, and say, oh, can I get you next time? And then I see them putting their money somewhere else. And I'm like, that kind of shows me how serious people are. How much are you going to invest in your spiritual practice? I invested so much time and energy into this. That's what I said. I'm like, I do this every day. And again, I'm like, don't be like me. It's not about that. But if you found yourself here, you're a light worker. We need you now. We need your rebellious spirit. It's time for you to shine. It's time for you to grow and expand your awareness and be what you came here to be. Don't do me like that. Spirit's like, don't do me like that. Like, you know what you came here to do. And for some of you, you know who these people are that you need to release and let go of. You know who they are. I feel like there's one more card that there's just one to close this out. And sometimes these readings can feel very scattered, and it's because a lot of times there's many people watching it. So sometimes, have you ever noticed when you're watching a reading and you'll zone out for a second, you're like, what did they say? And then they'll say something else and it stands out. It's because the whole reading, not every single word that comes out of the reader's mouth is for you. This could be one person is meant to just, hear that Billy Idol, sorry, David Bowie, and both, I mean, not sorry, they're both awesome. I'm just saying, but that, rebel, that David Bowie. Oh, for those of you who were called to reading 1, this was in reading 1, number 23, give more. This must be something that's going on with you, that you need to give more. Invest in your spirit. Where are you not investing? Like, where are you putting your time and energy right now? Time and energy. Look at that. 2, 3, 4, 5. It's time to go. Like, I just heard dive deeper, dive deeper, dive deeper. Oh, look at that. Fill the well. What number is that? 25. Fill the well. This could be for some of you too, like maybe you're not putting your money where your mouth is. And also squirrels, whenever you see animals in any type of reading, always work with that medicine as well, because that's calling to you. But obviously you can see in there, the best example for the squirrel medicine is, they're making sure that they have enough food for the winter. They got to stock up. They get nice and fat, and while they're eating while they're like packing up for the winter, and then they're eating and they're getting fatter and fatter and fatter, because they know that it'll be slim pickings. So this could be for some of you too, that you're not giving enough. You need to give more to your spirit. You need to fill the well, right? Like the oxygen mask theory, right? Like, how can you help others if you cannot breathe? How can you help others? So it could even be that, I'm feeling like your gifts, it's like this culmination. It's like you're giving out. We spoke about this in reading 1 too. It's like you're giving things out, but like maybe you're not giving the right things, or maybe you're giving too much of things instead of, filling the personal well. Let's see if there's any more cards. Okay, that's it, you guys. I'm almost positive, but let's check in with spirit. Oh my gosh, what the fuck? Everything's like moving on its own. It's kind of tripping me out. Do we have any more messages for reading too? No, but I feel like some of you would like to take a screenshot. Oh my gosh, what the fuck? There's like some cool energy happening tonight. It's so awesome. It's very playful though too. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, there's like the creator, like there's an energy here that is very beautiful. And yeah, so they just want you to know that they love you and they're looking out for you, and that third quarter moon energy is calling to you of the transition and forgiveness. Also, interesting that we had a 7 on that card, because that is the energy that I'm getting from Spirit right now in this cycle of 7. And you were reading too. Okay. All right, you guys. Until next time, take good care of yourselves and each other. I love you. Spirit loves you. All of my information is in the description box. And I'll see you at the next reading. Blessed be. Oh, bye. Welcome, welcome, reading 3. It's time to set yourself free. Ooh, oh, I love when they have me channel energy. Welcome, reading 3. What was so fun is that it was at 50:05, and we've had 5s in reading 1 and reading 2. So if you were drawn to either of those, I highly recommend them for you. But don't make it your story if it's not your story. So, oh my goodness, yours is the first one that they had me kind of pull it out. There's like so much happening right now. I don't even know where to begin. It's so witchy. We are a week away from the new, oh, I have chills all over my body. It's the 3rd quarter moon and transition and forgiveness, the 7th moon cycle. And we are a week away from the new moon, the dark moon, and also the partial solar eclipse. And then shortly after that, we will have fall and spring equinox, depending on your hemisphere. Reading 3. So much to say to thee. So let's jump in so we can see what Spirit has in their sights for thee. Okay, so your theme is, but you won't let me. I wish I could do Rachael Yamagata's voice. It's so beautiful. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to seek out that song. It's amazing. If you don't know about Rachael Yamagata, I highly recommend you find her. She helped me get through my divorce. Ugh. Honestly, between her and the band Muse, I don't know how I would have ever gotten through. So, I don't know what you guys are going through, but they had me share that with you. And also, if you did not watch the beginning, Spirit had me open to this page in a book, and it just like starts, like literally where this starts, it's like a sentence from the other page, but they have not had me go to look at the other page. All I can tell you is it's from the complete book of tarot spreads, and it goes something like this: to let go of some much cherished habits and have the courage to invest yourself wholeheartedly in a subject. Now remember, this is transition and forgiveness energy. If you take to heart and act on what the Ace of Cups might imply, you could take a shower or drink something bubbly. The non-literal approach might prod you to openly admit your feelings, either to yourself or somebody else, to make peace, to say goodbye, or in any case, to put a certain experience behind you in order to free yourself. So this is the beginning of the reading. Whichever one of these things, maybe it's all of the above, but everything that they had me read, whether it's, feelings to yourself or somebody else, to make peace, to say goodbye, all those things, whichever one pinged with you, this is your path. This is your, I'm seeing like trail, right? Like find the breadcrumbs. So maybe every single second of this reading will resonate with you. Maybe it won't. Let's go to reading 3. We are opening the portal of reading 3. Thank you, Spirit, for setting them free. Oh, they're telling me to look at the bottom of the deck. Clear the fog, number 13. Okay, number 13 came up in the other readings too. Clear the fog. Oh, wow, that's powerful. They're not having me pick it up though. Not right now. Okay. Oh, they did. Holy shit. I always, shuffle with my eyes closed. I said, and then they did. They're like, girl, yes, we did. Okay, so let's see if we have any more. Okay, so remember, the other part of this reading says, of course, there are many other possibilities when it comes to reaching conclusions and making decisions. If at some time you simply cannot understand what the practical consequences of a certain layout are supposed to be, you should accept this as a temporary situation. It is telling you to either tread water, hang out, or swim for a while. However, there is no law that says you cannot reach for another card. Even the task is drawing a practical conclusion. First time I'm seeing that is they're saying, like, instead of saying card, they're saying, however, there's no law that says you cannot reach for another reading. So if you're drawn to reading 1 or reading 2, or if right now none of this resonates for you and you're like, you know what? I thought I was drawn to it because I like that song or I like the title, but you know, maybe or it could be that you're drawn to go watch one or two first and then come back and watch this because sometimes it's a whole fucking story. I mean, my favorite is when I follow the breadcrumbs from spirit that go from like one reading from one reader, and then I'm like, oh, okay. I kind of, some of that resonated, you know, and then like a few hours later, something pops up in my feed. It could even be a shorts. And I'll be like, oh, and I'm following the breadcrumbs. And by the end of the day, I watch like three or four things and I'm like, oh, wow, I totally got the message. You know, so stay open. Maybe clearing the fog is that I'm hearing control. You're trying to control something. You're trying to force something. Also, it could be for some of you, I'm zooming in. You remember, whoops, that 13 is the number of the divine feminine, the goddess. So it could be that maybe some of you have been keeping out that part of you, that light. Look at how the flame is like coming up behind you. Maybe you're feeling lonely, but you don't want to reach out because you're like, I don't have anybody. Drink some water. Out of nowhere, I feel like my throat. So work with your throat chakra. Somebody's not speaking their truth. It is imperative for us to drink a lot of clean water at this time. If you like your coffee or your tea or whatever else you drink, that's fine. But maybe cut it down in half and have water. Like if you're somebody who has 3 coffees a day, you know, believe it or not, a lot of people don't think this, but it's true. Hot water, and if your body, depending on your body type, for a long time, one of the best things that I love to do in the morning was have hot water with apple cider vinegar and lemon, and just a dash of apple cider vinegar, just like a little bit, and just a little bit of lemon because they're both acidic. So that's what I'm saying. Like it depends. If you know, some people are like, oh, I can't have that. I have heartburn. Like everybody's body is different. Because there was a time I could drink that forever, and then all of a sudden I started to get heartburn. I couldn't have it anymore. I was like, I don't know what happened. My diet was the same, but our bodies change in cycles. Every 7 years, we're in the 7th moon cycle right now. I said in the other reading, I was really surprised that for 18 weeks straight, we went live on Sundays for Sacred Sunday. And then today they told me no. And in real time, it's September 14th, 2025. And as you know, there was that huge, massive shooting for an American, I don't know if he's a politician or activist or whatever. I send them love, you know, even if, you know, just because people have their opinion or spew what I may construe as hate or you may construe as hate or whatever, you know, it's still a pretty horrific experience for everybody to witness. And I think enough is enough. I think people, you know, Carrie Kay just put something out about it, and she's like, and her first thing was like, you know, I never get political, you know, I never. She's like, but I have to talk about this. She goes, because it won't leave me be, right? And every medium has their calling for whatever they're talking about, their platform. They're there for a reason. So long story short, there were so many people coming to the channel saying how much compassion they had, and they felt the same. And it was interesting that a lot of them weren't Americans, and it's like an outsider's perspective, right? Like when you're in a relationship with somebody, you know, and you're so close to them, it's so personal when something goes awry. But if you know people that are in a relationship and you're observing it, you have an observation, a perspective, you may have empathy for them, but you're not in it. It's not your relationship. And I thought it was important that the message was coming from somebody that wasn't American, because she has a different perspective, an outsider's perspective, and through a medium's lens. So right now, I feel like that's the, like, especially with them saying clear the fog, it could be that for some of you, ooh, I just got this really cool visual. Okay, so go with me on this. Okay, go with me on this. So this, it's like, it's almost like, this could even be like you. Like, oh my gosh. For some of you, I talked about Peter Brady's. I was like, my voice kept changing. When it's time to change. So seriously, if you were drawn to one of the other readings, I don't remember which one it was in, but go check it out. Anyway, but I was seeing this as like almost like two different versions of you, and then like the stars, and then like the earth, like as above so below. So maybe some of you are stuck in the middle of something right now, or maybe you feel like you are, because the title of the song is You Won't Let Me. And maybe part of it's like you're trying to let go of your past. Like maybe, it's like you're sitting pretty and comfortable, right? Like look at the fires right underneath you. Like you're sitting here, you're having a good time, and you're like, this is you. And it almost looks like both of you, right? Like it's like the dog is a puppy, and like a younger version of the dog, and like a younger version of you, and then like the dog is older now, and so are you, and you're sitting on the bench and you're warm by the fire, and you're not stressed out, you're not, but it's like this old version of you keeps pulling you back to the past, and you're like, I don't want to be there though. You're like, ow, oh sorry, I just hit my elbow and it wasn't funny. Also, ooh, I just heard ungrounded. I'm like, man, did I have to get hurt in the process? But I guess I did. Because all of a sudden it got really cold in here, and I was like, are the windows open? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to deflect off your reading. I haven't done a reading this late at night in a really long time, so I'm a little like, anyway, I apologize. I don't mean to take away from my sincerity or your, this is very serious. I'm taking this seriously. Okay. I'm feeling a lot of fairy energy. Let's take a minute. Let's take a few breaths. In through the nose, breathe in. White light, clearing, cleaning. Light energy. And then out through the mouth. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. And we're bringing in the healing energy, and we're dispelling all of that which no longer serves us, and say, thank you, Spirit, back into the fray, back into the ether, back into love, back into light. And yeah, there's like this great divide right now. And it seems like you're trying to be more in the fifth dimensional energy. Like you understand that it's a consciousness and not like some place where you have to walk through a door, or like you understand. Like I feel reading 3, I feel like you guys are really old medicine and you understand. But, oh, I just got the chills. But there's definitely still a part of you that you're working on, in spirit saying that's a-okay. But if you whether you're in a relationship romantically, or this is somebody, but I definitely feel like at least one of you, it's also a person. You're trying to let somebody go. And you're like, I'm trying to go, but you won't let me. Like, but Spirit's saying, if you even say to somebody, you won't let me, you're giving them your power. You just need to go. You don't need anybody's permission. I just heard from Spirit, the only permission you need is your own. Number 19, 1 before 9. So you're almost there. Listen to the music. Oh, and look at, there's a dog there. And interesting. Oh, sorry. I need to pull that out a little bit because I can't. Ooh, maybe they wanted to go back out. Yeah, it's like there's like all this magic happening. Okay, I thought we were going to use Toad the Wet Sprocket for reading 2, but it must be for you. So in reading 2, the creator came in. I'm not joking. I mean, I feel like they may have been present before, but like they actually wanted me to say that they were here. So they're here. They're here. In the most divine, loving way. And you know what's so crazy? Look what's on the bottom of the deck. Number 11, talk to God. I feel like the creator's like, I'm here. Talk to me. You could talk to me at any time. They're like, you possess, like, you deserve it. It's good. You don't have to ask. But we are going to get some signs. I feel like somebody, okay, this is so fun, you guys. I'm not joking at all. For some of you, listen to the music. So they want you to listen to this song by Rachael Yamagata. And they're not having me put a link because they want you to look it up yourself. Because, you're all going to approach the song differently by looking it up, right? Meaning like wherever you look it up or however you see it is how you're meant to see it, whether it's in a video, a promo. Okay, so these are direct messages for a few people from the Creator. And they're going to have me drop out exactly what needs to drop out until they tell me to stop. And I heard stop. Okay. Holy shit. My eyes went straight to this over here. Or it's about to be. Okay, so let's see what that there. It's like the fun thing is it's going to be like a scavenger hunt. So we're going to put things together. So this could be a D. I'm also feeling like an O or a 0. So we're going to put that down there. My eyes just went down to here. And it says great. Great, or it's about to be. Then my eyes went to this one. Is that simple? Simple. And I'm going to bring the camera to it. No worries. And then my eyes went over to this one. Craving. Simple craving. And then this is an I. The fly just flew above me. Work with the fly spirit medicine. They came into reading 2 as well. So again, if you were thinking about reading 2, it's a wink wink to go check it out. Ooh, the number 16. Also, the number 16 showed up in reading 2. In fact, it was December 16th that came through. And I was like, I'm like, happy birthday, Danielle. I know somebody with that birthday. Okay, this seashell just wanted to be pulled over. Pulled over like it's a vehicle. You know what I'm saying? So that's interesting. So maybe the seashell, maybe some of you, it's time to go on a vacation. Maybe it's time to move by the water. Then there's maid. Okay, my eyes are coming over here. These are so fun when we do these. Ooh, dedicated. Dedicated. I feel like it wants to come over here. My eyes went down to this, but it, oh, okay. Only. I want it here. Okay. Canada. Is that a feather? Ooh, a little baby feather. I don't know what that means. Maybe that means something to you. Maybe that's a sign. Canada. Okay. And then my eyes are coming over here, and it's the word 1. Not the number, but the word. I'm just going to put them on here, and then I'm going to show you guys because it's like they're telling a story. Ooh, virgin. Interesting. I cut things up, you know, so if it says like virgin olive oil or, you know what I mean? It's like, but virgin also is like, just means like untouched. So it could be, you know, we were talking about the Ace of Cups earlier. Ooh, trans. Interesting. Oh, that's beautiful. I just heard they're having me put trans in Canada. And I just heard for some of you, yes, that makes you a virgin again. Absolutely. If you change, you know, even if you don't change any of your body parts, Spirit's saying, of course, you know, yeah, because it's new. It's all brand new. Clicking. Ooh, that's interesting. Or it's about to be. G. I feel like that wants to go there. My eyes are coming down here. Mind. Ooh, wow, that's powerful. Thank you, Spirit. Paper box, and it's pink and blue. I don't know what that means for you. I love how they're rhyming. Okay, melt. I couldn't help but feel like it was a sandwich because I watched the Colbert's questionnaire. I binge watched a bunch of them on YouTube. It was so fun. Anyway, so many people, when he asked them what their favorite sandwich was a tuna melt. So maybe that's for somebody. This one, I can't tell what this says. Oh, sight. This one's really hard to tell. Great sight. Okay, my eyes are going to this one. Soft, and it went down by trans. Also, it's so funny because this is rose quartz mushrooms, so work with rose quartz, but also I felt like it was very phallic. I was feeling a lot of, so we may have somebody who, congratulations on your new beautiful penis. That's very exciting. That's very exciting. I have to say, for a long time, I wasn't sure like what was going on with me either. And I explored a lot because I missed penetrating. I was like, I know I've been a man before. I'm like, I miss having sex like that, like being the penetrator, right? In this life, I'm a woman. By the way, another G. Second G. Where did that go? That's so crazy. You guys saw that, right? It literally like just disappeared into the abyss. You guys saw that, right? That was 2 G's. That was 2 G's, but I feel like that means something too. 2 G's. Get it? Okay, so maybe that means something. Oh my gosh, I dated a guy once who was Greg with 2 G's. That's how he introduced himself to me. It was hilarious. He was actually a really cool dude. Nut and nut flower blend. So maybe some of you are having some type of allergies, or you can't have bread, but Spirit's like, you can as long as it's a nut flower blend. Okay, then this one is mint. So if you're having, maybe some of you are having digestive issues, I just got the chills. So drink mint, work with mint essential oils. Here's an I. That's the second I. You guys, we got 2 I's and 2 G's. Is there someone named Gigi? Oh my gosh, one of my old roommates, that was her name. G-I, Gigi. Oh, love you, G. Okay, to ensure clean air and water. Maybe you guys are, maybe you're moving so that you have you want to take better care of yourself. Packaging. I also, this whole reading, have been getting a vibe that some of you, at least one of you, you either have your own business or you're wanting to start your own business. And I feel like this is a nod from Spirit that you're getting the green light go. I just heard from Spirit, like you're getting the green light go. And I know it seems crazy to try and start a business right now with the world being as nutty as it is, but they're like, oh my gosh, this is so tiny, but I'm going to put it down here so you can see it. It's percent. Oh, there's that other G. Look, it fell here. Holy shit, you guys, it fell right there. The other G is there. Let me see if they're all okay. Sorry. So much is coming through. I feel like I was saying something and then it stopped. All right. I always like to do a little looky-loo and make sure we didn't miss any. Oops. Sorry. That was loud. Sorry, loves. Because those little pieces of paper can really wander. Sometimes I get frustrated when the reading's over and I'm like cleaning up and I find stuff and I'm like, how come I didn't find it? And they're like, it's okay. You weren't supposed to. But sometimes things just fly out because my little fingers can only hold so much. Okay. Or can only stop so much, All right, you guys. So we're going to go in for a looky-loo. We're going in for a closer look. Okay. So they don't necessarily have to be. Oh, and I looked down, it was 113. So there we are with that 13 again, you guys. Wow, so powerful. And also remember 1 and 3 is 4, so it's about getting balanced. So I'm trying to get balanced myself so you can read it. Oh yeah, I want you to be able to see everything. It's important. Dedicated. Sorry. Okay. Sometimes people want to take a screenshot, because sometimes it might not make sense to you now, but it'll make sense later. Here's that little teeny tiny percent sign. Clicking. Maybe something's clicking. Also, 1 and 6 is the number 7. So that could be, we were talking about the 7th moon cycle. Canada can mean something. Maybe for some of you, maybe you're nervous, Americans. I know that a lot of countries are actually being really cool about letting people come to their country, because they're like, you can't be the most powerful country in the world if people evacuate it and go to other countries and make them more powerful. You know what I mean? So money goes where, it's like you can, what is that bullshit, flows, but money goes where something to flow. Anybody, you know what I'm saying? All right, you guys, let me see if there's anything else. I'm really hearing that, yeah, about listening to music, like listening to that song. And for those of you, like I said, if you've never heard of Rachael Yamagata, you're gonna thank us. Honestly, you're gonna thank us. She's just so good. I mean, her earlier albums are some of my most favorite stuff. This song was on one of her earlier albums, but then they redid it for a movie. I can't remember the name of it. I think it's the one with Meryl Streep, and where she's a therapist and her son starts dating one of her patients or something, but they don't know it. And anyway, but that song, I'm almost positive it's in there as like the soundtrack, because I remember hearing it in the movie and I was like, oh, and then I was like, oh, it sounds different, you know? So anyway, any more messages, Spirit? Okay. Do we have any more messages for reading 3 before we close out? Okay, you guys, those are your messages. Until next time, take good care of yourselves and each other. All of my information is in the description box, and we'll see you next time. I love you. We love you. Blessed be. Aho.